Hello again, and this is another PvP analysis video. This time, the PvP analysis, the video is brought to you by Destroyer5154, and he's playing the map Total War by Lyzak. First thing you want to note on the screen is that he goes and grabs logs. That's very important. Well, I guess it's not very important, but it is. If you plan on running around a lot, having more blocks is always better. Let's put it that way. You never know when you're going to need blocks when you want to build defenses. Maybe you're going to play midfield, you know? As you can see, he just grabbed 3 diamond blocks, though you can grab 2 diamond blocks if you wish to. It depends on what you want to do in this map. You'll see here that he's going to get rid of his iron helm, and he's going to make diamond helm, chest, and pants, and then use the feather falling boots and get the bow. You'll also see that he grabbed sticks. This way he doesn't have to waste time making sticks with his logs, and this will save him time. That's very smart. Always grab the sticks if you plan on making yourself a pick. But you could also have a different armor arrangement if you were so inclined. If you're going to cannon this map, I would recommend keeping your iron helm, as it has blast protection, some enchantment on it, and that will help you in case you mess up. Always grab the feather falling boots because they will save you every single time, and make sure to also grab the bow. As you can see, he just jumped off the highest point in the map and he only had 3 hearts of damage. The bow is important because you do not spawn with one on this map, and grabbing the bow up top is really good. It has punch 1, power 1, it may even have punch 2 actually, I'm not really sure, but it is just fantastic and I highly recommend it. A strategy I see him employ here is very unique. I hardly ever see anybody do this, so I have seen it before. Is he grabs the gold blocks here. At first I thought he was going to make a golden apple and then an opal, which is golden blocks surrounding an apple, and then I realized there's not enough gold on the map for that. As you see here, he sees this guy's coming up and he jumps him first. Always choose your encounters. You always want to get the jump on people. You don't want them to get the jump on you. So he sees that this guy could be a potential threat, so he jumps down, takes him out before he has a chance to do any harm to him. Which is very smart because you don't want to have people get the jump on you. That's the worst. You see he's having trouble getting back up here. I'm not really sure what he should do. I think he should tunnel into the wall to avoid those cobwebs. But at the same time, he's on his side. He's relatively pretty safe. And also, you see when he grabbed the gold blocks, he always repaired it. And I gotta give him props for that, because repairing stuff that you break is, I mean, that's just very good teamwork, team sense. You wanna be that guy. You don't want to be the guy, on the other hand, who breaks stuff and then doesn't put it back. You know, that's just mean, rude. Don't do that. So you see he makes the golden apples, and it's an iffy situation there, because yes, the golden apples are good. They help you regen a lot of health, but at the same time, it could take long enough that a good rusher may have already won it. So you gotta weigh your odds there, and you gotta judge the other team before you do that. And I really want to point this out here. You see here, right here, there's blue guys on that island swarming it. So instead of going over and attacking him, he goes right underneath and goes the stealth route. Half of winning the game on Project Ares is avoiding PvP encounters, because if you go up against somebody who you don't know you can beat definitively, or you don't get the jump on somebody and you die, that severely hinders your team. You're gonna have to re-equip. That takes 1-2 minutes out of your potential time on the team. So you'll see here he goes underneath, and I really like that. And then he got on his boat to get fast travel, and I like what he did here. He ran to unoccupied area of the blue base, and he goes into the corner and pillars up. The reason pillaring in the corner is so much better than just pillaring up in the wild is because you'll see the people up front will have a not as good view as him, and if he gets hit from behind, he's going to just fall right into that corner, and he's not going to fall off. The only way he could fall off is if somebody jumped down on top of him and hit him off, and that's very unlikely to happen. So I want to give him props for that. Again, avoiding combat is half the battle. So you see he just pillars up here, and the reason he's pillaring up here is because, and I assume he's shifting right now, I think he is because now people below him will not see him breaking the core. If they come up the ladder to grab the bows and the feather falling boots, they won't notice that he's there. But This guy does, and you'll see here, this is why the feather-falling boots are amazing, and this is why maybe those golden apples are a really good thing, and maybe you should do those. Like, this is a strategy you should keep in mind. That is going to help you a lot, and they just save you forever. And I want to pause here in a second. You'll see he starts block jumping, and I really disapprove of this. This is a horrible idea. He was concealed, he was perfectly fine, and then he decides to run through the middle of Blue's base while block jumping, and that just gives you away that you're an enemy, like, right away. So here's the side-by-side comparison of the field of view while block jumping's on the right, and while he's there on the left. On the left, he can see if anybody's coming at him. He can see if he's going to get shot at. He can know where to move. On the right, he sees nobody. He has no idea if he's going to get attacked. He has no idea if he's going to run into somebody or anything. So block jumping is good. It's definitely good, especially if you're trying to get away and distract pursuers, because pursuers can run into it, and pursuers will break their sprint, and you'll be able to get away faster. But if you're not running away from anybody, and you're perfectly stealth, which he was regenerating health, he regenerated health, perfectly stealth, he goes ahead and block jumps right through the middle of Blue's base. That's a dead giveaway. That's a dead giveaway. That you're an enemy and they should take you out. So unless necessary, don't block jump, because block jumping draws attention to you. And so, that's one fault I want to point out. I think personally a better approach would have been to just kind of sneak and stealthily get his way to the rear core. And I also want to mention right now that I personally like destroying the rear, or leaking the rear core first on this map, because late game the rear core is always a lot harder to get. It's always it's always more defended, and it's harder to get. So if you could take that out early, it's going to be easier for you to win the game in the long run, in the very long run. But I'll give him that. I guess just don't block jump if it's not necessary. The only real time that I personally block jump is when I'm running away from the wool rooms in a capture the wool map. DTCs, destroy the core, which is what this map is, obviously. Yeah, I guess I do block jump, again, only if I'm running away. And you see he makes his boat here, which is smart, because the faster you travel, speed is essential in combat, which hopefully I'll talk about in another video, but having speed over an opponent and getting to places fast and knowing your organization and what you want to do. Do you want to grab 3 blocks of diamond? Do you want to grab 2 blocks of diamond? Do you want to cannon this match? Do you want to go offense this match? Knowing all that stuff ahead of time and having speed and being quick with your fingers and stuff is just really, really essential. Well, I mean, it's essential for really good, like top of the line PvP. It's not totally essential. And you see here, he blocks himself in, and I want to give him props for that too, because blocking yourself in, preventing getting hit from behind and getting jumped upon is one of number one key. If you get hit from behind, if somebody gets to jump on you from the back, usually they can get 2-3 hits in, and you're, well, that's kind of bad. It's kind of bad. But I personally like blocking myself in, but I guess it's kind of personal preference, and it depends on where you are. If you're rushing, you might not have time to stealth and block yourself in. And you see here, there is a blue guy chasing him, and he's like, block yourself in, Smart, because that delays him. And now what I would personally do here, and what I suggest he should have done, is he should have shot his bow, because that person obviously didn't have a bow, otherwise he would have been shot at already. And if you shot him, make him think twice about coming at you, because that if they think, oh, you have a bow, punch bow, and then they might lose where you are because they're running away from your bow shots. And here he blocks himself in, but he blocks himself in with wood. And I want to say that blocking yourself in with wood on this map doesn't fit in. It's not very stealthy. If possible, always block yourself in with similar blocks to your surroundings. This way it's harder for people to tell where you are. To do this, I personally grab 1 block while I'm at my base of the stone brick on Total War. And this way I always have it in my inventory spot, so that way when I start mining their base out, I'll have stone brick. And you'll see here he grabs the stone brick this way. It will make it harder for them to pursue him, which is good, but I think he should have done that earlier. I also want to talk about sound. Sound is important when digging. Really good defenders have their volume cranked up to max, and they listen for breaking blocks. If you are hiding, don't dig for a little bit and listen. If nobody is breaking any blocks around you, be very careful, because there might be a defender shifting, waiting for you to break a block and pinpoint your position. That is very, very, very tricky. I see that a lot on Golden Drought especially, but that can happen in really any map. That is one really, really important thing everybody should know. And I think he should have gone and pillared up the inside for a little bit longer here, though it's not really necessary because he lost his pursuer. And I just can't believe there's sandstone here. Who makes sandstone on this map? Seriously? You can just, like, I don't know. It's just funny. And, alright, I'm going to knock him here. He pillars up without looking. He doesn't know if there's 3, 4, 10 blue guys there or not. If one of those blue guys just turned around, you know, I could have been bad. And I'm going to freeze frame this. Look, this is what not to do when on defense. On defense, don't cover your core in planks or in blocks, because we know what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. An enemy's going to come in, break 2 blocks, and then barricade themselves in, and you're going to have no clue that they are even there, because they blocked themselves in and it looks like just part of your defense is there. So that is really, really stupid on defense, and good for Destroyer for figuring, oh yeah, I can just block myself in. They'll have no idea that I'm here. And I'll see here, he starts leaking the core. And this will eventually lead to him getting his second core leak. And this is because of the other team's defense. If the other team's defense hadn't been like this, there's a good chance that somebody would have seen him and he would have been shot off and prevented from breaking the core. There is a high possibility that that could have happened. And you'll see here, he's just trying to make it leak well. I think that's pretty much all the critique I have for this map. In summary, block yourself up. Preventing combat is literally half the game. Choose your encounters wisely and only fight the ones you have to, and only fight the ones that you think you can win. Choose your style of play beforehand and gather resources accordingly. If you're going to do cannoning, grab 2 blocks of diamond instead of 3. Keep your blast protection helmet on and stuff like that. Be mindful of what your style of play is and play accordingly and play quickly. Number 3, be aware of your surroundings and be aware of your surroundings and figure out what you are up against. As I showed in the block jumping thing, if he had just known, I wouldn't have saved him, probably, but it would have been a big advantage. He would have been able to, you know, dodge, weave in and out, go behind somebody's field of view so they didn't see him, etc., etc. Be aware of your surroundings at all time. Listen to blocks being broken if you're on defense. That's a huge giveaway. And also, sometimes stealth is good. You don't have to run through their entire base. If you are in the middle of their base and nobody sees you, stealth is amazing. Because if you made it there, you're pretty much guaranteed to get to the objective. Maybe not actually complete the objective, but you're guaranteed to actually get to the objective almost. And keep your tactics open. Keep your tactics open, such as using the boat, swimming underneath. Be very mindful. If you have a route in mind for rushing, if you have a route in mind for defending, that's all great and well and good, but be open to, you know, changing that around and improvising. Improvising is key. Like, I really want to point out that, you know, he made swimming underneath to avoid those combats, and he made the golden apples. Both were very, you know, kind of tricky, quote unquote tricky tactics that he kept up the sleeve and that he used to his full advantage, and I really want to give him props on that one. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Yeah, I know I kind of looped the beginning again because I ran out of time. Anyway, that's my critique and analysis of Destroyer5154's video gameplay on Total War. And I'll see you guys some other time. Bye-bye.